Welcome to Southern Cross News. Today, we're exploring the future of education where care, justice and inclusion are at the forefront. Let's go to our education correspondent Emma for her insightful perspective on teaching pedagogy. Emma.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Emma Grigg, a pre-service teacher with the heart for justice, compassion and meaningful educational change. Classrooms are far more than spaces to deliver content or tick off curriculum goals. They're places where students come as their whole selves with unique identities, experiences, and challenges. Our role as educators is to recognise those identities, honour them, and ensure every learner feels safe, respected, and empowered. That belief guides my educational philosophy, and it all begins with care. I'm deeply inspired by Nell Notting's perspective, who argues that an educational scheme that builds upon what students care about will more likely develop adults capable of caring for themselves and the world they inhabit. Care in education isn't just about being nice, it's about being present. It means listening to our students, noticing their unspoken needs, and creating learning environments where they feel seen, respected, and valued. When we genuinely care, we adapt. We make space for students who are struggling. We offer flexibility, encouragement, and the time it takes for real learning to happen. Our classrooms become places of stability and consistency, especially for students whose lives outside of school might be uncertain or unsafe. But care alone isn't enough. It must be woven together with justice to truly transform our classrooms. Bell Hooks once said, "Education as the practice of freedom allows students to deal critically and creatively with reality." These words continue to shape my outlook as a future teacher. They remind me that education is not neutral. As teachers, we have a choice. We can ignore the inequalities that exist, or we can actively work to dismantle them. I aim to help students develop critical thinking, not just to pass exams, but to understand their world and imagine new possibilities. I want them to feel confident asking tough questions, exploring who they are, and using their voice to advocate for change. That's how education becomes powerful. It becomes a space for growth, truth, and transformation. This commitment is also reflected in the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, which calls on us to plan, implement, and evaluate teaching programs that engage students in critical and creative thinking. This means making sure students feel seen, whether that's through differentiated strategies, the use of Auslan visuals, cultural perspectives and content, or simply offering multiple ways for students to demonstrate understanding. And as we know, not every student begins their learning journey from the same starting point. Structural inequalities mean that some students face more barriers than others. From poverty, trauma, or language to racial inequality and ableism. Recognizing this isn't about making excuses, it's about ensuring equity. We must ask, what do students need to thrive and how can we meet them there? The Alice Springs Education Declaration speaks powerfully to this vision, stating that every student has the right to access a high-quality education and to reach their full potential. As future teachers, we are responsible for bringing that promise to life. That means adopting culturally responsive practices, not merely as curriculum requirements, but as genuine, respectful connection to the diverse stories, experiences, and identities our students bring to the classroom. It means understanding the lasting effects of intergenerational trauma and fostering an environment where every student feels seen, valued, and heard. This vision is also profoundly connected to our ethical framework. The Queensland Code of Ethics urges teachers to uphold the principles of inclusion and diversity to create respectful, safe, and supportive learning environments. That's not just a value, it's a way of teaching. It shapes the way we speak, the way we plan, and the way we connect. I know I won't have all the answers as I continue my journey into the profession, but I will keep learning, I will ask thoughtful questions, and I'll stay committed to leading with empathy, justice, and integrity because I believe our students deserve that. When we teach with care and justice, we don't just deliver education, we create a space where transformation becomes possible. Thank you for joining me. Back to you in the studio.